I need you guys to help me out, okay? The bosses pulled me in the office yesterday and they said, look, Joey, we love what you've been doing with the channel, but we need the numbers to go up a little bit. They said I needed 35 subs from today's show. I need you guys to do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Don't get me yelled out. It's the summer. I want things to be chill. I want things to be easy. I want to keep cranking out content for every single one of you guys. So if you haven't subscribed, today's the perfect day to help a brother out. All right, it's time to talk about a surprise cut candidate because Bleacher Report named Romeo Doubs as a surprise cut candidate for the Green Bay Packers. They released an article that detailed cut candidates for every single team in the National Football League. And of course, the one they chose for your Green Bay Packers was wide receiver Romeo Doubs. Here's more from Bleacher Report. The Green Bay Packers are highly likely to part with one of their young veteran receivers after using two of their first three draft selections on Matthew Golden and Savion Williams. Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, who are both entering a contract year, are the two most logical candidates. And while one could argue that Doubs has been the more reliable of the two, he's also set to carry the bigger 2025 cap hit. Watson is coming off a torn ACL and could spend the season on injured reserve anyway. And Green Bay could save $3.4 million in cap space by cutting Doubs. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, okay? I've talked a lot about trading away Romeo Doubs, getting some assets for him, and especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers, bringing in Aaron Rodgers. But cutting him just doesn't make sense to me, okay? And there's multiple reasons for that. Reason number one, I think that Green Bay in 2025 wants multiple options on offense, okay? You look at their wide receiver room this year, it is drastically different and drastically improved, in my opinion, from one year to the next. You got Romeo Doubs, you got Jaden Reed, you add in Matthew Golden, you add in Savion Williams. At some point, Christian Watson will come back from injured reserve. You will add him in as well. Your top six receivers are Watson, Golden, Reed, Doubs, Williams, and Wicks. Those are six really, really good players. And then you just look at the offense in total. You add in Tucker Kraft as a weapon. You add in Josh Jacobs. I'm not even mentioning Marshawn Lloyd. I'm not even mentioning Luke Musgrave, okay? And let's be real. The Packers wide receiver room was really underwhelming in 2024. There's a reason that this franchise thought we should draft two wide receivers. They didn't add weapons in the draft to just move away from the weapons they already had and then kind of get back to where they were last year. Do you get what I'm saying? They didn't add in Matthew Golden. They didn't add in Savion Williams to then just get rid of Romeo Doubs or get rid of Christian Watson and then be back right exactly where they were last year with not enough talented wide receivers around them. I'm really excited about Matthew Golden. I'm really excited about Savion Williams. But I think those two guys are going to be able to thrive partly because they're going to be surrounded by a ton of other offensive talent on the roster. And let's remember, Matt LaFleur talked about what Romeo Doubs has meant as a leader on this team. He said, they're coaching them up on the field. I mean, shoot, we were out there earlier today. I went over to tell Matthew something about one of his routes. I was just about to start talking, and then Romeo Doubs grabbed him and started talking. And this isn't the first time we've seen Romeo Doubs be a leader on this team as well. Here's him with Sam Brown Jr., like the first day of OTAs, coaching him up. A guy that was a UDFA signing. A guy that's not going to make the roster. Honestly, if I can think correctly, I believe he's already cut. So it's like he's spending time at these OTA practices helping guys around him, talking to Matthew Golden, talking to Sam Brown. It looks like he's taken a little bit of a step maturity-wise from this last season, from past season to this one. I think that's only good for this team going forward. What say you guys? Will the Packers cut Romeo Doubs? Give me a yes or give me a no in the comment section down below. Weigh in with your answer. Number two, second reason why it doesn't make sense to cut him is I think they'll trade him before he's released. I think if they're going to part ways with Romeo Doubs, they're going to part ways with him via a trade instead of, just cutting him. He still has trade value. He's still young. He's still talented. He's shown lots of flashes to be able to be a really good wide receiver in any offense that he's gone in. And sure, he hasn't given you 1,000 yards in a year yet, But he's put back-to-back 600-yard years, you know. Back-to-back seasons with over 45 catches. His 2023 year was really, really impressive. 8 touchdowns for that one as well. And like at the end of the day, I think a lot of this is going to come down to money because this is a business. That's what it's always going to come down to. And the cap savings are the exact same whether he's traded or whether he is cut. $3.4 million either way. So if they still believe that they're able to trade him and get $3.4 million, well, they'd rather do that, save the money, and also get something back in a trade for him than just cut him loose and save the money. I think there's 3 destinations that we all need to look at for possible trade destinations for Romeo Doubs. Pittsburgh Steelers are one of them. New England Patriots are one of them, and the New York Jets are one of them as well. I think the Steelers are at the top. I think they're going to remain at the top literally until like the trade deadline has come and gone because of the addition of Aaron Rodgers. And we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but remember when Aaron Rodgers went to New York? They pretty much brought every single person that's ever played with him or coached him in Green Bay to go with him in New York. Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Nathaniel Hackett. Then the next season, they traded for Devontae Adams. Like, he now joins a Pittsburgh Steelers team that doesn't have a wide receiver room that is good enough yet, in my opinion. You just got DK Metcalf. Your second best wide receiver is Calvin Austin III. Your third best wide receiver is Robert Woods. That's not good enough for an aging Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the same ability to get out of the pocket, extend plays, and find open guys that he does. You need to have better route-running receivers. Pittsburgh doesn't have that. And I would not be surprised, because Aaron Rodgers liked playing with him at the time when he was a rookie, if they went out and they traded for Romeo Doubs. My prediction for Doubs is if he gets traded, and I've said this before, it'll be at the deadline, okay? I don't think they're going to deal him before that. I think they're going to roll into the season liking all of their offensive weapons. Want to keep Doubs, Wicks, Golden, Reed, Kraft, all of those guys in that same pass catcher room. And then if they get halfway through the year, if they get to late October, and they say, you know what, Doubs is doing fine, but we believe this offense can still operate without him, let's see if we can go get him at the deadline. I think that's a little bit more realistic. Make the call for me. What will the Packers do with Doubs? Think they're going to trade him? Type T. If you think they're going to cut him, type C. And if you think they're going to keep him, go ahead and give me a K in the comment section down below. I think there's only one way that he gets cut before the season, and that's if Matthew Golden and Savion Williams are absolutely dominant during training camp, okay? Let me give you a hypothetical. Training camp starts a little bit less than a month. I believe it's July 23rd. Matthew Golden, Savion Williams come in. They give 2.5 weeks of incredible wide receiver play. It's obvious to everybody on the coaching staff, on the team, these guys are the future of that position. Then say we get in the preseason game. They're still dominant, right? They're still showing everybody now nationally, we've got this now in Green Bay. And say Romeo Doubs struggles a little bit. He's back to dropping balls. He's not playing his best. There's not that great of a connection either between him and Love or him and Willis, whoever it's going to be at that quarterback position in the preseason. Then I could see it happening then. If they have their answer for can this offense operate without Romeo Doubs before the season starts, that's the only way a trade happens. That's the only way they call up Pittsburgh and says, hey, I know you're not satisfied with who you've got at wide receiver. Let's give you a little bit better. Let's get you a weapon that Aaron Rodgers already knows and Aaron Rodgers already loves. They could call up New England and say, hey, I know you want to surround Drake May with a little bit more talent. Here's a guy we believe can do that. Same thing with Justin Fields over in New York. Okay? So there's a way it happens, but it just has to be something very specific, and that means Matthew Golden coming in and just being an absolute freak for pretty much all of training camp and the coaching staff having no doubts that he's the future. Make sure you got me on social media. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at Joey Petersen 8 on both of those platforms. Free to follow. And on Twitter, talk about the Packers a little bit more often than we do just once a day here on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed as well. We put out a video every single day right here on the Packers Report, 100% free, entertaining coverage, breaking news when it happens. We got it all right here. So subscribe, join us, and we'll see you next time.